Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for joining me again today. And today we want to look at the Delimitation report, which was produced by ZEC, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. I've managed to go through that report, and this is a very important document because it determines which constituencies are where and which people vote for which MP and for which ward, and also the polling station. So this report is very, very good. I've gone through it, and I know that a lot of people have got complaints, but the complaints are more technical than anything sinister from what I've seen. So I want to summarize the report for you, and then I'm going to upload it on our website so that you can also look at it. It's a very short report. You'll be able to quickly go through the report. So let's start with the purpose of the report. The Delimitation report is produced by ZEC to update the boundaries for voting. And this was last done, I think, in 2007 or 2008. So this process was an update of the polling stations which affected the provinces and the wards and also the constituencies. The data that was used to do this delimitation was from the census. You know that Zimstat had a census. So that is the data that was used to do this delimitation. And according to the census, the adult population of Zimbabwe is about 8 million, somewhere there. And then the voter population of Zimbabwe, when we take away the people who are not registered, it's approximately 5.8 million. So there is a 72% voter population in Zimbabwe. 72% of the adults are registered to vote. And using this information and also consultation, ZEC then divided the country into 210 constituencies. And then these 210 constituencies, they have to have a certain number of people. And to get that certain number of people, they divided the 5.8 million people by the 210 constituencies for the MPs. And then obviously there were some adjustments for areas where there are less people. So for example, they gave example of Harare where there are a lot of people compared to the farms where there are less people. So you will see that a constituency, one constituency can be big and can cover a bigger area, while another constituency can be smaller and can have more constituencies in that smaller area. So that's how they did this calculation. And after they did the calculation, a constituency is supposed to have between 27,000 people and 33,000 people. So in that constituency, so in the constituency that they did calculate, they then found some wards which had, or some places where there were less people than this 27,000 and 33,000, which resulted in Matabeleland South losing one constituency and Harare gaining one constituency. And then in terms of Bulawayo, because of the movement of people and there are not so many people who are registered, they had to move things around. So 7 constituencies in Bulawayo have been changed, have been moved around, and they've been renamed. And also this affected places like Gwanda, where there are less people, and one constituency was moved to another, to Harare. So these are the things that are in the delimitation report. And Harare now has 30 constituencies, up from 29, while Matabeleland South has 12, down from 13. Then let's look at the other factors that were considered, which was the geographical factors. They used, if there is a mountain or a river, they were trying to make sure that the constituency does not cross that river or the mountain. Then also the culture, they were looking at the culture of the people. If people have got the same interests, they then have to put them in one place. And if people used to be in one constituency, they try not to move them around too much. But obviously there were movements. And then there was an issue of 20%. I've heard people talking about 20%. So each province has a limit of 20%. It cannot be, you cannot have more than 20% of all the voters coming from one province. So this is one of the things that they also considered when they were making these changes. And then in conclusion, the guys at ZEC said, in general, no voters were moved from their polling station, although the name of the ward was changed. So I think I skipped the issue of the wards. The wards that are there right now, after they've made the changes, they were calculated by taking the whole population of Zimbabwe, and then they divided the whole population by the number of wards. And then they took, let me just quickly go through the total numbers that we have here. So the number of wards that are there right now, the total is 1,970, and the local authorities are 92. So if they are talking of people like mayors or councillors, I think the guys who know exactly how this works, you're going to have 1,970 councillors from where you are going to elect your mayors who are going to represent the cities. And then looking at Bulawayo and Harare, Bulawayo has one local authority, while Harare has got 3 local authorities. The number of wards in Harare is 77. The number of wards in Bulawayo is 29. And then looking at all the other places, then you see that they've got all these wards, the local authorities in wards. They're quite a lot. And this information is contained in this draft delimitation report, which I was looking at. Obviously, the final report was given to the president. And this is what is going to be used in the election. The most important thing that I want to mention is that ZEC has admitted that there are mistakes here in the data and the addition and subtraction, and the corrections are going to be made. I think this process of making those corrections need to be done transparently. And also, this needs to be an open process. There's no need to be worried about election data at all, because in other countries, this information is openly available. Voters' roll data, delimitation data, this information is widely available. Mistakes are common when you're analyzing data. I analyze data a lot during my consultation work, and mistakes are made everywhere. So I think the ZEC has done a good job. They've explained everything that they did during the process. The delimitation committee consulted everybody, the local people, the local representatives, the political parties, and I don't see anything controversial in this delimitation report. ZEC is going to probably get good marks for what they've done with the delimitation report. And it's important not to discredit the election process. That is the final thing that I want to say. It's important not to discredit the election process, because the process must not be interfered with by part of the players. So the political parties must not dictate to ZEC what to do with things like the delimitation report. And I think the courts have reaffirmed that position. So that's what I wanted to say today. We'll be coming every day with an update on the election until the election and after the election. There is a lot here. We've been waiting for this election for years. Let's make this a very, very well-informed election, a well-covered election. Thank you very much for watching. And if you want to make any contributions, please put it down in the comments. Our website will be up soon. Our numbers will be up soon. Zimbabwe 2023elections.com. That is going to be our new website. Thank you.